Knack, knack. Who's there? Yeah, I'd rather not share that with you. Hey, no sweat. Come on in. Make yourself at home and take anything you want. Wait, you wouldn't let a stranger in your house. Why would you let anonymous traffic scrape your website? Introducing IPinfo's Privacy Detection API, a fast and simple way to detect malicious traffic. Activate your free trial today at ipinfo.io. And don't forget to use the promo code CODESTORY at checkout.
Our MVP was a lot of us Dropbox MVP. Basically, we were delivering this impression of completely functional product, but there was nothing on the back end. And to validate the idea, initially, we used Figma, to animate the whole UI. Like, we fake it, 100% fake it. And the biggest, moment of epiphany was when actually customers seeing the mock data, like mock UI. The customer initially confirmed, how can I access it? Let's do it right now. My name is Yuliia Tkachova. I'm CEO and co-founder of Masthead Data.
This is Code Story, a podcast bringing you interviews with tech visionaries who share in the critical moments of what it takes to change an industry and build and lead a team that has your back. I'm your host, Noah Lappart, and today how Yuliia Tkachova built the world's best no-code solution to catch data issues in real time. All this and more on Code Story. Yuliia Tkachova grew up in the Ukraine but lives in Canada now. She has a family with 2 kids and a master's in statistics. And she acknowledges that the war with Russia has been difficult to deal with, thinking of her friends and family back home. On the lighter side, she notes that she loves Depeche Mode and Red Hot Chili Peppers. She recalls the 2010 concert in Kyiv with Depeche Mode was a moment that she cherishes. As a data product manager, Yuliia was called out, even during the early days of her job, that her customers were going to churn due to some erroneous data downstream. After fixing this problem, she saw the landscape of data quality issues that were likely to occur with her customers and wanted to do something about it. This is the creation story of Masthead Data.
Masthead Data is a data reliability platform that catches anomalies in data teams' warehouse before they cause harmful downstream effects. Today, organizations have myriad of data sources. Every company tries to make decisions based on data, but data is not static. It is constantly changing and evolving along with organization growth, So the reality is data breaks, and that causes problems like data outage, times when data is unavailable, incorrect, and cannot be used. And because of that, employees and organizations lose trust in data-driven culture. So basically, it's pretty, severe issue. So Masthead catches data anomalies in real time and notifies data engineers or data analysts about it. Masthead lets the data engineers know what the issue is, where it have happened, and also provides data engineers with the column-level lineage that makes it easier to pinpoint what data consumers were affected with anomalies. And what is important about us, what is our main differentiator, Masthead Data doesn't need direct access to clients' data, meaning we don't query clients' data. It is 100% compliant with all data privacy acts because we operate on logs. So we are able to deliver value without direct access to data. So I have an idea about the startup and clear understanding of the problem long before we started the company. I started my career as a data product manager back in 2017. I was a product manager responsible for the products, similar to Google Analytics. We were collecting data from client's website and transfer this data to client Google BigQuery. On my second day at work, when you're still getting familiar with the place, where's the coffee machine, where's the washroom, so on and so forth, I was tagged and email chains, like 50 emails, saying, hey, Yuliia, your product doesn't perform well. If you do nothing, our second biggest client will churn. Do something now. Can you just imagine it? You know what I did? I turned my chair into the open space, and I was like, please tell me there is one more Yuliia in here. And of course, there were no Yuliia. So the data that we were delivering to the client sometimes was, not that accurate. It was sometimes erroneous, sometimes, we just missed some days, like different, I would say common problems to data. But the worst part was that the client get to know about it from their dashboards. Basically, C-level stakeholders saw errors on their dashboard, and they were cascading the problem to their data analyst, who were just so much mad at us because we never notified them that there are some problems from our side. At that point, I also understood that we were delivering just a fraction of data for those organizations. They have so much more data in their data warehouse. And I was 100% sure that they have the same problems with that data. Delays, mistakes, anomalies, so on and so forth. So I understood early that data quality is actually a big problem towards building the data culture. I started to chat with Sergey, my co-founder, and he shared this idea with Arash, our other co-founder. And he was like, why we didn't doing it? Why won't we start doing it? It didn't happen like overnight. We started doing our startup. It just happened gradually, but we had this momentum. We had so much attention from other people when we were talking to them about the problem. So yeah, eventually it converted in startup. And the biggest confirmation we had when we got into the Alchemist Accelerator, where we, kind of passed through big competition.
So tell me about the MVP for Masthead Data, that first product you built. How long did it take you to build, and what sort of tools did you use to bring it to life?
Our MVP was a lot of us Dropbox MVP. In product management world, it's called Wizard of Oz. So we just have the front end. Basically, we were delivering this impression of completely functional product, but there was nothing on the back end. And to validate the idea initially, we used Figma, to animate the whole UI. Like we fake it, 100% fake it. And the biggest, moment of epiphany was when actually customers seeing the mock data confirmed that they would love to use it. Like mock UI. The customer initially confirmed, like, how can I access it? Let's do it right now. And I was like, oh no, we gotta wait a little bit. There is, some backend work has to be done. But by that time, we just have pure UI. That's it.
When you're deciding to use a Dropbox backend, right, or Dropbox solution, right, with a Figma front end, animating the experience, you got to make certain decisions and trade-offs around, what you're going to show the end user and how you're going to go about that. Tell me about some of those decisions and trade-offs you had to make and how you coped with them.
It was the easiest decision to validate the whole idea and how the customers would convert, because it took us relatively not long to do that, to build the flows, to animate the flows. But I guess it took us like months or something like that. And it was, it was kind of smart decisions in terms of getting people's attention, because we faked that the tool exists. The trade-off here was that once they convert, they would want tool super fast. Like, as I mentioned, in December, I had a client saying on the meeting, like, I want to install it now. And I'm having just a pure UI. I was like, oh no, please hold on. There are lots of strategic and tech sacrifices we made. As you can guess from the tech standpoint, there is lots of tech debt. Yeah, as early as any early stage startup, I would say. We were also skipping some features like installation from the UI. We run the installations through the terminal. This is the sacrifices we make to build a solid backend right now. But I want to also highlight what sacrifices and shortcuts we didn't make. So just for you to understand, the data quality is not the most difficult task in data engineering. The other part of this, it takes lots of time and knowing your data, but it's like a separate story. What we didn't take a shortcut on building a product that is privacy first. So we don't require users to give access to their data. We analyze data using logs. It also means that we have to be really good in parsing logs and being able to unfold different SQL queries like case when and see what is happening next, This is where we didn't do any shortcuts, basically. Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Vanta. You're a startup founder. Finding product market fit is probably your number one priority. But to land bigger customers, you also need security compliance. And obtaining your SOC 2 or ISO 27001 certification can open those big doors. But they take time and energy pulling you away from building and shipping. And that's where Vanta comes in. Vanta is the all-in-one compliance solution helping startups like yours get audit ready and build a strong security foundation quickly and painlessly. How, you ask? Vanta automates the manual security tasks that slow you down, helping you streamline your audit. And the platform connects you with trusted vCISOs to build your program, auditors to get you through audits quickly, and a marketplace for essentials like pen testing. Join over 8,000 companies, including many Y Combinator and Techstars startups who trust Vanta. Simplify compliance and get $1,000 off at vanta.com/codestory. That's VANTA.com/codestory. So you got your MVP, right? You've got your MVP and people are loving it. How did you progress and mature the product? I think what I'm most interested in is how you built your roadmap and how you decided, okay, this is the next most important thing to build.
A quick overview, we started from Figma wireframes, and after the 8 months of development, we are going to soon roll out masthead data version, which can be deployed from the UI in 5 clicks. Talking about the roadmap, that's a product management question, and I love it. We're an early stage startup, obviously, and I cannot say that we have a product market fit and core customers who navigate us on, what is next feature should be. So instead, what I did, I invited inspiring data professionals to form a customer advisory board and utilize the product. As a rule, those engineers are early adopters and, they give a great feedback, they share their expertise, and this is what, help us to prioritize our backlog. This is how we do it.
Okay, then let's switch to team. So how did you go about building your team? And what did you look for in those people to indicate that they were the winning horses to join you?
Our team is most valuable asset. And our team is something I'm very proud of. So first of all, my 2 co-founders, Sergey and Arash, are veterans of software development, and both of them have data engineering background. When it comes to, our first hires, we obviously go to our own network. So the people who work with us, we have a couple of employees right now, and we knew them for a while. We've been working with those people, and those are kind of professionals. The pattern of those professionals, what I mentioned, they have this extraordinary leadership and ownership skills. They know how to make things done. What also I mentioned, that they deliver value from the day one. This is so much critical for a startup, and we didn't do that intentionally. It just something was, based on our values when we were chatting with people and inviting to join the startup. And this is what I saw retrospectively, that all of people who are on our team have those skills.
So let's flip to scalability then. So was this built to scale efficiently from day one, or have you been fighting this as you grow and gain traction?
So we sit on Google Cloud infrastructure, and we rely a lot, on their infrastructure. And what we do, we just grow our instances automatically. The scale point for us, it depends on how much data our client receive. So basically, we need to scale each account. So basically, it's all set up from the beginning because we cannot allow ourselves to fail and stop collecting data.
So does your largest customer determine how much you have to scale, or is it purely on your side? Give me a little more info there.
It's pure on our side. Pure on our side because we just get the metadata from client, and the metadata being processed on our side. Basically, in terms of how much metadata we receive, we need to scale. So there is no control of the client, from the client side on that.
Well, as you step out on the balcony, and you look across all that you've built, what are you most proud of?
In terms of startup, I'm super proud of the product and the team we managed to build so far. Actively building the startup like a year. We're already doing great. We have full-time employees who I really admire. I have a nice parallel here for being proud for Masthead as a product. Once the Masthead data caught the error in ad spend for our client, it timely alerted the data analyst, and the data analyst was able to correct the mistake that influenced marketing spend's dashboard. So Masthead effectively prevented costly business decision. So when I get to know about this, I felt literally as proud as seeing my 3-year-old daughter riding the bike without training wheels.
Well, let's flip the script a little bit. Tell me about a mistake you made and how you and your team responded to it.
The biggest one is being a first-time founder. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with being first-time founder, but let me explain myself here. I just didn't know a lot of things from the beginning, and I was so much hesitate. So, I don't know a lot of things. I still don't know a lot of things, but I have more structural understanding on how to kick off a new venture. When I started, I should have get the feedback faster. And this is where, the biggest mistake of mine happened. We should have, iterate faster, get the feedback faster, and turned the development faster and not stick to the Figma or, front-end UI mockups. We should have started building the back-end earlier.
So what does the future look like for Masthead Data, the product, and for your team?
There are 2 trends that influence Masthead Data future. First one is that machine learning and artificial intelligence technologies became more accessible. More and more companies worldwide invest in it. And the problem here that those investments could be wasted if the companies do not have an accurate data in first place. Your investment in machine learning and artificial intelligence could be nothing if you don't have correct data. And the second trend is data privacy. It is getting momentum. Today, having a third-party tool that queries your data is an issue already for a lot of companies. And I believe that Masthead Data, we're building a solution that can effectively respond to those major trends and satisfy the growing demand.
Well, let's switch to you, Yuliia. Who influences the way that you work? Name someone or multiple people that you look up to, and why?
I'm type of the person that my people who I know personally, first of all. So my two co-founders, Sergey and Rash, are so resourceful. When something looks to me like a disaster, they would say, listen, this is a tech problem and we can solve any tech problem. You don't care about that. We will take over this. And this is, this leadership and ownership skill. I really admire them for this. And also, there is my advisor, like our strategic advisor, Vlad. I have so much admiration for him. He is like a founder of Unicorn, YC alumni. And I'm absolutely amazed how he helped me to structure the challenges that I have on CEO joinery, He kind of guided me both, strategically and emotionally. And also my other two advisors, Stefan and Derek, they are such a smart people. I have so much admiration for them as well. And, I'm fascinated by all people who work with us because it's hard starting something from just an idea and building it and make it tangible. It's, I have a lot of admiration for them as well.
Well, we talked about a mistake earlier, but a little bit different spin. If you could go back to the beginning, what would you do different? Or where would you consider taking a different approach?
I guess the only thing that I regret is not acting fast enough at the beginning. You have to accept being ambitious as well. Losing time is the worst mistake you can make in startup because any tech mistake can be fixed, but you cannot fix the lost time for hesitations. And this is what I would kind of look back and reflect. So fail fast.
Well, Yuliia, last question. So you're getting on a plane and you're sitting next to a young entrepreneur who's built the next big thing. They're jazzed about it. They can't wait to show it off to the world. Can't wait to show it off to you right there on the plane. What advice do you give that person, having gone down this road a bit?
I have, like 3 advices. So again, fail fast. Like treat your startup idea as a hypothesis, which you do not need necessarily to confirm. This is really important. Second one, I guess, talk and listen to your customers. Not just talking, but listening, active listening. And it's gold. And third, there are going to be people who will tell you that you're building kind of a crap. You have to find your own balance, what to listen, what to accept, but it takes time as well. So learn to be resourceful and resistant.
That's fantastic advice. Well, Yuliia, thank you for being on the show today, and thank you for telling the creation story of Masthead Data.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you today, Noah.
And this concludes another chapter of Code Story. Code Story is hosted and produced by Noah Laphart. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcasting app of your choice. Support the show on patreon.com/codestory for just $5 to $10 a month. And when you get a chance, leave us a review. Both things help us out tremendously. And thanks again for listening.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.